Steve Nash was never a Laker. He was a Sun. He's stolen $18 million. He's stolen $18 million. If you love the organization like you say you do truly, then go ahead and quit when it's time to quit. Don't stay around and delay. Then go ahead and quit when it's time to quit.
I know it's hard to walk away from $9 million, but he has plenty of money.
This is about the money for him. This is about give me the money. Give me the money. Give me the money.
Yeah, unfortunately, just took a knee on the side of my knee, right at the tib-fib joint, and that's why I broke my leg last year. So when I took the knock there today, my nerves just went a little haywire, and I started to limp and compensate, and I could feel my back tightening up, and you know. Hopefully I caught it and got off the court in time to not do any damage and not miss any games here. Tonight I started the game not in the best, form, and it just deteriorated quickly. I finally get some health. I have a good week where I play 2 games and feel good, and then, and then I have a setback, and it's tough, man. It's tough when the one little thing doesn't go your way. I still think it's not a huge setback. It's just a minor one.
I think Steve Nash should go ahead and call it quits. But as long as you keep honoring another contract, as long as they meet the minimum requirement, like as Steve Nash did today by making, 10 games?
10 games, yeah.
See, that's ridiculous, dude. This situation is ridiculous. They should have not honored the remainder of Steve Nash's contract. This has nothing to do with the Laker fans or the Laker name. So let's not fool ourselves, because if he really had that kind of pride, he would have retired before that 10th game and he wouldn't come back next year.
To come to the end of my career now and, to have a lot of people, calling for me to retire, a lot of people believing that I'm done, and frankly, a lot of people being extremely critical of me. Of course you have some people that say, well, he's had some terrible injuries, and they show sympathy because of that.
Hi. Hey, how are you?
But you have a lot of people that are just, want to just say you're trash.
Look at this, it's not even pretty. I mean, one little muscle is off and your whole body can't work. I mean,
And that's the way it's feeling right now for Steve Nash. If you've been a fan of just basketball, and to see Steve Nash, who was a 2-time MVP, who ran that system back in the heyday with the Phoenix Suns, to see this, it is a little disappointing.
Obviously, he played his 10 games, which is, going to cost us for this year. Why does anyone want to play like this or be a shell of themselves like this?
I appreciate on many levels the passion people have for their team, and on the other hand, as philosophical and as understanding as I am of what it all is and what it means, and having been through it now for 18 years, it can still hurt. Only momentarily. As you get older, it doesn't really last like it would when you're young, but it still hurts. And as a competitor, you just want to get out there and show everybody. So that's not my primary source of motivation, to show everybody. My primary source of motivation is to get out there because I love the game. But it would be nice to shut some people up while I'm doing it.
It just seems like Mike D'Antoni is determined to make this work, square peg in a round hole type of thing.
Yeah.
And it's not.
And I think if he does not retire at the end of the season, I mean, I know it's hard to walk away from $9 million, but he could almost be hurting his legacy where we're not even thinking about the Phoenix years of Pat Nate.
Wait. So Daniel, you're saying that this will overshadow the 2 MVPs that he won?
It's not gonna help.
You know, the reality is, I could come in every day and say, you know what, I'm just not right today, and just be injured. You know, and just be injured and ride out the rest of my contract, collect my checks. But, you know, while I'm not willing to retire and give up that last year of my contract, I'm also not willing to just sit back and say, yeah, you know what, I don't quite feel it today, and yeah, I don't quite feel it the next day, and so on and so forth until I'm forgotten about and, you know, the contract is over.
Hey, Steve, how you doing? Hey, how are you? Yeah, I'm getting better. I appreciate it. Okay, thank you.
But that's just not me. I still love the game enough, still love the fight, and want to do everything I can to get back out there. And, you know, that is a real, genuine affection for this game that I have. And on the other hand, it's just a reality. I'm not going to retire because, you know, I want the money. It's honest. But we want honest athletes, but at the same time, you know, you're going to have people out there that are like, oh man, he's so greedy. He's already made X amount of money in his career and he's got to take this last little bit. And, you know, yes, I do. I have to take that last little bit. So I'm sorry if that is frustrating to some, but if they were in my shoes, they'd do exactly the same thing. I wouldn't believe for a minute that they wouldn't.
Steve Nash feels an obligation to his teammates, to his team, to the fans to go out there and really earn his money. But at some point, the head coach has to be the one to say, Steve, look, this is not working. We can't have you just come back, play a game or two, and then go out another few games for an injury. It's not helping our flow. It's not helping us build anything. And at some point, Mike D'Antoni, regardless of his history with Steve Nash, he's got to say, I'm really sorry. I respect you, but we've got to end this or shelf this. But I don't think he's going to do that. Well, I
don't think he is either. And if you love the organization like you say you do truly, then go ahead and quit when it's time to quit. Don't stay around and delay somebody else from not making it and being able to help the team. That's what I hate to see most out of all of this.
It's looking as though, you know, I might not play much basketball the rest of the season. You know, it makes sense. I understand. If I step aside and don't play, you know, the team gets a chance to evaluate its younger players who could potentially be a key piece in the future, you know, who they want to re-sign for next year. And frankly, I don't want to get in the way of those guys, you know, showcasing themselves. If there's injuries, you know, I'll hopefully be ready and be able to play, but if I don't, to step aside, you know, isn't all bad. I mean, as much as I fought to get back, you know, I didn't want to finish my career, you know, not able to get back on the court. But I did that. I got back on the court. I had a couple games where I felt great and proved that I could still play at a high level. It's not the worst thing in the world, and I think I wouldn't be saying that if it wasn't for, you know, playing in Minnesota and Philadelphia the way I did and just being able to move and make the plays I've been accustomed to making. Especially after all that time off, to be able to accomplish something in those 2 meaningless games, you know, in an 18-year career, 2 meaningless games, you know, meant everything to me. And maybe in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, they'll mean nothing to me. But to get through this period, to get through the time when I don't know if I'll get to play again and don't know if this is it, just being able to get back out there and feel it one more time, to that degree, you know, made it okay.
Thank you for watching The Finish Line with Steve Nash. Please subscribe to the Grantland channel.